Memory stocks have exploded in the past year, and there's a new kid on the block. There's a new ETF called DRAM, DRAM, and this is an ETF that is focused on memory chip companies. Now, we see some of their biggest holdings here, but what we want to point out is their expense ratio is 0.65%. It does not seem like a lot, but expense ratios typically want them to be 0.03, 0.05, 0.06%, okay? So 0.65% is pretty expensive. Now, they are a specialized ETF, and they are brand new. But what we want to do is try to pick out some of the better companies that this ETF may or may not hold and try to get some fantastic memory companies at cheaper prices so that we don't have to pay somebody else an expense ratio. Now, we don't have a lot of historical data to look at. DRAM basically started at the beginning of April. Now, in that time, they are up 24% because, again, memory stocks have absolutely exploded recently. The S&P 500 VU is up 5.64%. So not a lot of comparisons that we can make, but memory is hot. Memory is where it's at. And we want to find some of the best companies to invest in the memory space. So in this video, we are going to look at 4 different memory chip companies. We're going to look at their safety metrics, their safety scores, and their performance. We're going to look at their growth metrics and scores, and that's probably what's going to be more relevant to us here because we want these to be growth companies. We want them to explode on the upside. We will look at their intrinsic values and analyst expectations on Wall Street. And then finally, we will conclude with how we might invest a hypothetical $1,000 into these companies. So the first company that we have up here is Micron Technologies, MU. If you followed the channel before, you know that we have been bullish on this company for quite some time. In the year 2025, we made a killing off of MU. We were early investors in March and April of last year, and we've just seen the value of that company and that position increase over time. Now, their current PE ratio is 21.7. Their historical 5-year PE is basically double that at 43.6. They have very low debt to equity. Their price to sales is very nice at 8.9. Their interest coverage is a smashing 80%. Their free cash flow yield is quite low at 2%, but these are growing companies. These are not mature companies, so we don't expect free cash flow yield to be too high. They do offer a very small dividend at 0.1%. We are not in this company for any sort of dividend yield at all, but their payout ratio is super low at 4.2%, which is quite nice. Their beta is a little high at 1.7, but you can see by the boldface type that this is one of the lower betas of these 4 different companies that we'll be looking at, and their return on assets is about 24%. Now, they have had a phenomenal week. In this week, they are up 12%. In the past month, they're not up as much. They're up about 7%, mainly due to this big dip in the Iran conflict and all the fears that were built into the market at that time. In the past 3 months, they are up 36.86%. In the past half of a year, you've more than doubled your position if you've been in Micron. In the past year, like we have been, we are up 542% for any shares that we bought in mid-April of last year. Now, next up is SanDisk. There's a lot missing from this company. The PE ratio and the historical 5-year PE ratio, not there because this is not a profitable company. The price to sales, however, 14.8, a little high, almost double that of MU, but they do have very low debt to equity at 0.1. They do have interest coverage at 10.5, so that's okay, I guess. 1.1% free cash flow yield, not looking too good. Very high beta at 4.7, and they have negative return on assets. And you might want to brace yourself for what you see in SanDisk. This is not a company that we hold at Interflame Finance. This past week, they are up 14%. In the past month, they're up about 35%. In the past 3 months, you've more than doubled your position in SanDisk at 130%. In the past 6 months, 600%. That is not a mistake. That is a 7x on your money in the past 6 months. And over the past year, just 365 days, while we were making about 500% on MU, SanDisk is up 2,558%. So that is just stellar growth for this company in just 1 year's time. That's a 27x on your money, basically. Now, the sad thing is we at Interflame Finance, we did see SanDisk. We saw it about a year ago, and we considered buying it, but the numbers weren't there. The fundamentals weren't there, and this is actually a position that we passed on. We don't currently own any of it, and we didn't own any of it within the past year, unfortunately. STX is Seagate. This is another memory company. Their current PE is 59, and historically, it's been only 28. So this is trading very rich right now. Price to sales at 11.4. That's the second best of all these companies that we'll look at. Their dividend yield is 0.6%. That's one of the highest that we'll see. They have grown their dividends for 2 consecutive years. Their payout ratio is about 38%. Beta at 1.7, return on assets, second best at 21.5%. And this is another company that is up in the past week, about 4.69%. In the past month, you're up 35%. In the past 3 months, we are up 66% for Seagate. In the past 6 months, more than doubled your money at 145% growth. And in the past year, not as good as SanDisk, but still nothing to sneeze at, 615% growth in Seagate. And finally, WDC is Western Digital. This is a company that is also trading pretty rich right now. Their PE ratio is 35.4. Historically, that's 13.6. So they are trading essentially more than double their historical valuations. Price to sales looking okay at 11.5, but could be better. Debt to equity kind of creeping up there at 0.7. Interest coverage, second best at 10.8. Free cash flow yield just under MU's at 1.9%. Dividend yield, very small at 0.1%. But their payout ratio is very small as well, so there's no real risk of cutting the dividend anytime soon. Return on assets about 14.2%. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. What we do is we take these metrics and we score and evaluate these companies from -10 to +10, with -10 being an absolute garbage company and +10 being the best, most perfectly run company in the world. And at the bottom of the barrel is SanDisk. Yes, they've had a phenomenal year, a 27x in their position, 27x in the stock price, but the fundamentals aren't there. They're not profitable right now. Their debt to equity is looking pretty good, but a lot of other things give us concern for SanDisk. So possibly severely overvalued at this time. As far as safety goes, just coming in at a 0.3. STX, Seagate coming in next at 0.8. I do want to point out that 0 is neutral. So even the worst company on this list for safety, SanDisk, is a bit over neutral. But we want to see companies that are 5 or higher. We want to make sure that we're picking the best, most quality companies that we can. And Seagate is just not there either. A lot of fundamentals lacking from this company. They're trading very rich right now. And so something that we're not probably going to be too terribly interested in. Western Digital at a 3.5. So we're getting closer to that minimum of 5 mark, coming in with a 3.5. But probably no surprise. At the top of the leaderboard is MU, Micron Technologies, with a 6.3 for their score. Now we want to rank these companies based on their growth metrics. This is the potential for growth that they will have in the future. And the first on the list here is MU. They have a PEG ratio that even rounded to 1 decimal place is 0. That is just dirt cheap. That is awesome to see. Their forward PE is a ridiculous 5.0. Their 5-year forward PE based on growth projections and based on current PE ratios is a 1.6. Debt to equity super low, return on equity at almost 40%, return on invested capital at 33%, very healthy profit margins at 42%. I mean, this is a company that is just growing. Their 5-year projected revenue growth is 18.4%, and their expected 5-year earnings per share growth is 68%. So if they can execute on those numbers, yeah, sky's the limit for MU. We will be a little bit more cautious and conservative in our intrinsic value calculations. We're not going to use anything near 68% for the expected growth of this company. Next up is the big grower SanDisk. Now they do have a very low PEG ratio. We like to see that. We like to see PEG ratios under 1, especially for high growth companies like these. Their forward PE, nothing to sneeze at, 9.2. That's what we expect them to be in a year's time. That's very, very low. Debt to equity also low at 0.1, but we do have negative return on equity, not too terribly good, negative profit margins, but they do have a 25% expected revenue growth every year for the next 5 years. Now, Seagate comes in with okay numbers. Their debt to equity is 10.5. That is not good at all. That is way above the 0.7 that we like to see. However, their forward PE at a 29 is okay, I suppose, but we can see when compared to SanDisk and Micron Technologies, very, very high. PEG ratio at 0.6, that's okay. 5-year forward PE coming in at about a 10. So some metrics here for growth, not looking too good. Some looking okay. Their revenue growth is about 18%, but their expected earnings per share growth at 43%, that's very nice to see. We will lower that for our estimates for our intrinsic values, but 43% expected growth every single year for the next 5 years. And finally, Western Digital looks very similar to Seagate in terms of their PEG and their forward PE, but the real divergence comes when you look at their debt to equity, very low compared to Seagate. Their return on equity is positive at 41%. Their return on invested capital is also positive at 38%. Profit margins, very nice, 35%. And they're expected to grow their top line 16% and their bottom line 43% every year for the next 5 years. And their 5-year forward PE coming out with the second best number at 6.1. So also scoring these companies from -10 to +10 at the bottom of the barrel for growth is SanDisk. We think that SanDisk has probably done most of its growing in the past year. Probably way too overvalued right now for our likings. Of course, we could be wrong about that, but past performance is not any indication of future growth. And so we think that they may be toward the top of their growth, and this is not something that we are going to be interested in as far as growth goes. Now, Seagate coming in with a 4, very, very close to that minimum of 5 mark for the growth. Seagate does have some issues. They have some very high debt to worry about, but everything else looks okay, coming in at a 4 for growth. Next up is Western Digital, above that 5 mark at 5.4. They do have pretty decent numbers across the board, but top of the leaderboard for growth, no big surprise, Micron Technologies MU at a 6.6. If you're getting anything out of this video so far, please consider liking it. That would really help out the channel as we grow. And if you don't want to miss any more growth and safety scores, and if you don't want to miss any intrinsic value calculations of the companies that we cover here on this channel, please consider subscribing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a weighted average of their growth and their safety scores. We want these companies to grow. These are high growth companies. And so we're going to give the growth score a weight of 8 and the safety score a weight of 2. So we do want some safety in there, but we're really focused on that strong growth of these companies. And so when we compute that weighted average for SanDisk, we get a negative 1.3. So that's below neutral at 0. This is a company that we are not going to be interested in. And then we're going to look at the intrinsic value of these companies. The intrinsic value of SanDisk is 408. They are currently trading for 892. That is way overvalued currently with this current stock price, margin of safety of negative 118%. Now, you might ask yourself, what do you mean by intrinsic value? Well, based on their projected growth and their current metrics, what we do is we estimate what the stock should be trading for based on what we call the intrinsic value. If you go down to the description of this video, you will see 4 different links to 4 different intrinsic value calculators. There's the PE ratios model, the dividend discount model, the discounted cash flow model, and Graham valuation. So what we do is we run only the appropriate models for the companies that we're talking about. So here for Western Digital, you can see the PE ratios model, dividend discount model, or I'm sorry, not the dividend discount model, because they don't really pay a dividend. This is not a company known for paying solid, strong dividends, but we do the discounted cash flow and the Graham valuation models. We average those together, we compare it to this current stock price, and that gives us what's called the margin of safety. So this is an absolutely crucial tool for any investor to have in their investing toolbox. So go down to the description of this video and check out those 4 different intrinsic value calculator tutorials, so that way you can build these intrinsic value calculators and have this very important tool in your investing toolbox, so you know when companies are over or undervalued. So we think SanDisk should be trading for 409. And when we compare that to what analysts think, well, we are below the average. The average consensus on Wall Street is that SanDisk is actually probably going to go down between 23 and 32% in the next year. The average coming in at about 611. There is a bull or two out there saying that SanDisk is actually probably going to go up to 1200. There would be about 35% increase in the stock price within the next year. But there are huge bears out there saying that no, this is a company that's really worth $50 per share. They're not profitable. There's a lot of risk built into this company. They're all over the place with these expectations. Our estimate of 409, not looking too terrible, not looking completely outlandish, especially when you look at this $50 price target. But the overall consensus for SanDisk is that this is still a buy. Next up is Seagate. Now, their weighted average score is 3.4. That's still below that 5 that we like to see on this channel, but their current stock price is 520, and we think that the intrinsic value for this company is 580. That gives us a 10% margin of safety. Now, our estimate of 580 is actually quite bullish for this company. The average coming in at about $426. The low coming in at 125, so that would be a 76% drop in the stock price. But there are bulls out there that say that this has about 25% room for growth. However, the overall consensus is that this company is a buy, even though the average and the median analyst out there says that this is probably going to go down between 13 and 18% in the next year. Now, Western Digital coming in just at that 5 mark that we like to see. Their current stock price is $365, and we think that the intrinsic value is closer to $535. That implies a 32% margin of safety in the stock price. Now, what you'll notice is that our estimate of $535 is higher than even the most high bullish analysts out there. The highest analyst coming in at 420. The average is about a 31% drop in the stock price at 250, and the lowest analyst is coming up with a $62 price target for Western Digital. That would be an 83% drop in the stock price. Now, given these bearish sentiments and given the average and median analyst is saying that this is probably going to fall 31%, the overall consensus on Wall Street is that this is still a buy. Now, we think that this company should be trading in the high 400s, low to mid 500s. Time will tell. This is something that we would approach with a little bit of caution. Like I said, because they are at that 5 mark, they're just straddling that score that we might be considering on our channel. And finally, no surprise, MU coming in with an average score of 6.5. They are currently trading for $456, and we think that they should be trading for $850. That implies a 46% margin of safety. Now, Wall Street seems to think that this is trading for fair value. The average analyst is saying that it should be trading for about $454, which is where it's at. The median analyst is saying $500 per share, and the most bullish analyst saying $700. So we are more bullish than even the most bullish analysts. Now, I will say that we at Interflame Finance will not be buying MU Technologies in large amounts in the next year, mainly because we already built out a sizable position in that company, and we're not too interested in buying more. As the stock price goes up, we are baking in more and more risk for that stock to fall. And as a matter of fact, there are analysts that say that this is a $150 company, that MU might fall 67% within the next year. So again, these memory companies, all four of them, there are super bulls and there are super bears out there. It can grow a whole bunch, it can fall a whole bunch. Who the heck knows? But because we were so bullish on Micron Technologies and because we built out our position that we were comfortable with, we might nibble at this company from time to time. But right now, even though it's a strong buy, even though we at Interflame Finance see that the numbers are still looking so good, not something that we're going to buy in huge quantities. So this would be a good place to remind you that nothing that we say on this channel is financial advice. We are not telling you to buy, hold, or sell anything in your portfolio. Always do your own due diligence. Always do your own research before buying, holding, or selling any position in your stock portfolio. So what if we at Interflame Finance wanted to invest $1,000, 1,000 hypothetical dollars into these four different companies? Well, when it comes to SanDisk, we would not be too interested in buying it at all. The intrinsic value is 409, and it's trading for more than double that at 892. That is a negative 118% margin of safety, meaning we'd be paying quite the premium for SanDisk today. Now, if we wanted to buy this at a 15% discount of their intrinsic value, we might consider at 348. And if we really wanted to get a good discount under 35% mark, then that would be a $266 price target or lower. So right now, not interested in buying SanDisk. Also not interested in buying Seagate. They do have a 10% margin of safety, but that's not quite high enough of a discount. We want to make sure that we want to get at least 15%. So that would be a $493 price target, which it's almost there. And if we wanted to buy heavy, if we wanted a 35% discount or greater, we would look at a $377 price target. Another thing about Seagate is that their score is only a 3.4. We really like it to be 5 or higher, especially when there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of growth already baked into these numbers. However, if we wanted to invest $1,000 into the memory space, the first thing that we would consider buying is Western Digital. They have a very nice margin of safety of 32%, and they have that score right at 5, so something that we would consider buying. We are getting it for more than a 15% discount right now. Anything below 455 is going to give us that 15% discount off of the intrinsic value of 535, and buy heavy at $348. It's getting close. It's almost there at 365. So something that we might keep an eye on if we wanted to buy memory stocks. And again, no surprise, with their intrinsic value of $850 compared to their current stock price of $456, their 46% margin of safety, both flashing a buy and a buy heavy signal, is Micron Technologies. We would invest $655 of our hypothetical $1,000 into Micron. Again, we're not going to do this because we already have a very nice position built out in Micron. We might nibble a little tiny bit and we might still be buying this company in little tiny amounts, but we're not going to put 65.5% of any allocated capital into this company anytime soon. So there you have it, folks. Let us know in the comments below what you think about these four different companies. Are you buying any memory chip companies? Are you holding any? Or are you going to take some sweet profits and start to sell some off? Let us know in the comments below. Again, if you got anything out of this video, please consider liking it. That really helps out the channel. Subscribe so you can keep coming back for more Interflame Finance scoring and intrinsic value calculations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really growing out this channel. It's very exciting to see the growth that we have. Keep coming back for more videos. We love having you. We love serving you. Tell your friends and tell your family and tell your mother-in-law all about Interflame Finance, and we will see you in the next video.